Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be featuring the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. So I have taken everything out of its box just to save us some time. Pretty much packaging on all the boxes are exactly the same, which is what you're gonna find on the actual items themselves. So here we have the palette. I mean, how gorgeous is that? When I saw, it's not a leaked video, so it looks like Natasha Denona paid for like a commercial, paid promotion through Instagram, and sometimes Instagram gives you like commercials, is the best way I can describe it. I saw this collection featured on there and I knew I was gonna get it. I've already used this lipstick just because the first one I received was damaged, and this one, as you can see, has a couple dents in the back of the bullet, and I wanted to make sure that when I used it, the bullet wasn't gonna fall out of the base, because if not, then I was gonna have to return it again. Here's the gloss. So it all has that same paint splatter packaging. Now, if you guys follow her on Instagram, you guys saw that beautiful painting that she did with the ombre mauve tones. I don't know if that painting is for sale, but I want it. Just like, maybe she could send it to me. Maybe I'll hang it on my wall. It's that beautiful. She really is an artist through and through. So even though I already had this lip liner, because this color is not new, it exists in her I Need a Nude Lip Crayon. So I'm gonna compare swatches. However, this is the only lip liner I own from her and I use it a lot. So I just decided to pick up another one because I know that I will use it. Plus I wanted to compare it to the one I already have, because although she says that this is not a new shade, it is a new formula, because apparently this color exists in the I Need a Nude lipstick. But I saw swatches online and I don't own that lipstick and it's not the same shade. This is much more cool tone than pink. So I will be comparing it to Amorosa, which is the other lipstick I have from her, which you guys know I love. I've used a lot on this channel. So let's go ahead and get started. I've already put foundation on. So I put on my Chanel CC cream in 30 Beige. And I applied some of my Chanel Corrector and Peche under my eyes, just to help with that very pronounced green vein that runs under my eye, which honestly, you guys, I've been using this corrector and I think I'm just gonna stop buying concealer or correctors because I can't find anything that's gonna really cover that up. It's subtle, it helps, but not too much. Not enough to add an extra step to my makeup routine. I set my face with my Bareminerals Mineral Veil. And then I primed my eyelids with my Urban Decay Primer Potion in the original formula. Now let's go ahead and add some bronzer. I am using my Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow palette. I have made some serious progress on this, and I'm gonna go ahead and just use a Charlotte Ronson face brush. These brushes don't exist anymore. That's how long I've had them. And I'm just going to, I'm actually looking at my Ricky mirror right here because this one is just too small. And I'm just gonna warm up my face just a little bit. Guys, today is October 1st. And I just want you to know my entire body knows it. My hair knows it, my skin knows it. I woke up feeling different today. I woke up feeling different today. This is the month I flourish. So if you guys don't know, my birthday is on October the 28th, and the moment October the 1st hits, I remind all of my family members what a gift I am to them, including my friends. And so for the entire month of October, I celebrate my birthday in different ways. Some days it's, I'm not doing the dishes today. Yeah, sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's, I'm just gonna sit outside for an hour with no interruptions, and I'm gonna enjoy this weather that we only get like maybe 2 months out of the year, where it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just perfect. Yeah. I'm gonna go in with my MAC 188 brush, and I'm gonna go into that highlight. Just gonna apply some of that on my cheekbones, very subtle. And I do like to put a little bit of highlight on my temples, guys. I don't know, but I like it, okay? I know it's not, you know, what's trending, but I enjoy it. Okay, I'm also gonna be using my Sonia G brushes here. This is the Pro set. I also hauled the Sky set. Those of you who have been following me for a while, I hauled these last year during my birthday. It was my birthday gift to myself. I've always wanted to try these brushes. Most of the people I follow on YouTube rave about these brushes. And they've been using them since, I think, you know, before their channels got super huge, which tells me a lot. And they continue to use them over and over again, and it's been years, and I see that these brushes on their channel hold up really well. So I wanted to use it in conjunction with the Natasha Denona formula, because I seem to have a bit of a problem using my Real Techniques synthetic brushes and my It Cosmetic eyeshadow brushes that are also synthetic with some of the Natasha Denona shadows. They just they don't pick up pigment when it comes to those beautiful foiled shades. And so I decided to give this a try. I wanted to see how these brushes hold up and if they're worth, you know, the money. This is obviously not gonna be a review on these brushes. I'm just demoing them. Time will tell if I love them. You guys know I love the Angie Hot and Flashy. Those synthetic brushes are amazing, and that one brush that's for glittery shades does pick up the Natasha Denona foil shades really well. So I want to see how these compare, because the price point between that set and this set is significant. I did get these brushes during the gift card event, so I actually ended up getting the Pro set at a discounted price because I got a gift card when I purchased this set. So that's kind of a way, if you wanted to try these brushes, you can purchase it, wait for the gift card event, and then you can do it that way. All right, that's like the longest introduction that you didn't need, but we're moving on. So I didn't pick up the face palette in this collection just because I knew I was not gonna get a lot of use out of it. I have a lot of blushes, and the blush in that face palette, I feel like I have a lot of similar shades in my collection currently. So I decided to pull out my Chanel blush in Jersey, and I think that it was between Jersey and Alizane. I didn't go with Alizane because Alizane has like a shimmery finish to it, and the blush in the Natasha Denona palette has no shimmer. So that's why I decided to go with Jersey. I think this is a similar shade, so let's go ahead and apply it. I'm gonna be using my Too Faced Mr. Right brush, and I'm just gonna lightly tap in here and then just tap it on my face. You guys know that Chanel blushes are my favorite blushes, my favorite formula. And when they reformulated, it broke my heart. It broke my heart. It broke the hearts of millions around the world, because I know that I was not the only one who loved this this formula. However, my Jersey formula. So I didn't know, a lot of people didn't know, because Chanel never announces these things. They just like think that they're going to do things and that we're not going to notice, but we are, because we read things. We read ingredients. I had hauled a bunch of blushes not knowing that they were going to reformulate, and like 2 months after I hauled like 6 blushes, they changed the formula, and I was like, thank God I hauled all these blushes, because I am not a super big fan of the new formula. I think that it is a very scented, and it's just not my cup of tea. Also, the formula is different, so I don't feel like it's as smooth as the other one. Like, this is a dream. The other one's very powdery, and although I don't mind scent in my makeup, but it's really heavily scented. Now I'm hoping that one blush that I own from them, I'm gonna see how that does over time. It's called Beige. I'm gonna see if the fragrance starts to die down over time, but I'll keep you guys posted. Not that the original ones weren't had fragrance, but it wasn't as strong, if you guys know what I'm saying. Okay, so face is done. Let's go ahead and get into the eyes. This is the moment you have all been waiting for. I'm not gonna take off the sticker from the mirror just for the purpose of this video, because it's a lot easier. I don't have to deal with the glare. But is that not gorgeous? I mean, this duochrome, I'm all about that duochrome. I love that. The moment I saw this palette, I knew I was gonna pick it up. By the way, I film in natural light for those of you who are new to my channel. So what you see here is basically the closest you're gonna get to like the actual color. Now, the promo pictures of this palette did not do it justice. It is that much more beautiful in person. I love the grungy look. But if you really take a look at this palette, if you split this palette in half, you've got nighttime and you've got daytime. And I think that this is a perfect palette for fall and winter. I feel like this side over here is really good for like all year round. But when we're dealing with these shades over here, you got those deep plums, those deep purples, which I think is just screams fall, you know? Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna be using the Worker Pro brush. By the way, I just right off the bat, these brushes feel and look very luxurious and fancy, as they should, because they are hella expensive. All right, so the first shade I'm gonna start with is Unity, which is this like light peachy shade right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and use the Worker Pro, and I'm gonna apply that all over the lid. And I just wanna see, oh wow, yep, very pigmented, as you know, as usual. I literally did one swipe. Now, these brushes are really soft, I'm gonna say that. However, they are natural haired brushes. For those of you who are wondering why these brushes are so expensive, they are natural hair brushes. And I'm just gonna say this, I know it's gonna be an unpopular opinion just because this is my first time using them, but I feel like my BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy brushes are much softer than this. That's for right now, that's how I feel. Now maybe when I use them and I wash them and I reuse them again, maybe they'll feel, you know, different. But for right now, my other brushes feel much softer than this. So I'm just taking that shade all over the lid. It is such a beautiful day, you guys. The weather is perfect. Perfect. We're gonna take my daughter and just walk anywhere, any park, outside, around the neighborhood. We're going. We're not staying in today. The weather is that good. The hurricane that hit us was a category 1 by the time it hit us. And it was a lot of rain. We lost power a couple times, but thank God everybody's safe and things are good. Next, I'm gonna go in with the color Nurture. And I'm gonna use this as a transition shade. And if you, I'm gonna be, oh yeah, let me tell you what brush I'm using. I'm gonna use the Crease Pro Brush from Sonia G. This is a smaller crease brush for more detailed work. Wow, okay. So Nurture appears deeper on the skin than it does in the pan. So this is definitely not a transition shade. Well, we're gonna work with it. Now I'm gonna go in with my Blender Pro. It is clean. And I'm just gonna buff that out because I didn't expect for that to be so dark. And we are gonna have to do the same thing to the other eye because we need this to be even. So that was deceiving. Go in with a light hand because obviously, you know, Natasha Denona's formulas and eyeshadows, they just hold a lot of pigment. And I'm not mad about it, but if you're not somebody who likes a lot of, you know, heavy makeup, you gotta really go light-handed with her eyeshadow palettes. Again, I'm going in with the clean Blender Pro, and I'm just blending all of that out. Okay. I want to kind of build up a little bit, so I want to go in with the same, what is this, a Crease Pro Brush, and I kind of want to use as many colors as I can. I'm going to go into Carpe Diem, which is this matte shade down here. And I'm gonna go ahead and layer that over Nurture with the same little detailed crease brush, which is the Crease Pro. Now I'm patting this because now I'm just afraid. Okay. I like the way those two layered together. That's pretty. So I'm kind of just concentrating my pigment in the outer half of my eye. I'm not bringing it in because I want something softer for today, for the daytime. So I'm kind of going for something fall that's glam, but you know, not super over the top. I know I'm gonna be using that duochrome shade, but I'm gonna do two, I wanted to do two different eyes because I wanted to try two different colors. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to, I know I'm gonna have to take off my makeup and redo it again before leaving the house because, you know, two different eye looks, but let's do it. I really wanna use as many colors as I can. I'm really excited. Okay. So, let me go in with the blender brush and then blend it all out. So there's no harsh lines. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the, where is it? It's this one. It's the Builder Pro. And on this eye, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna use Babies. which is this beautiful sparkly shade right here. And that is, I don't know, I love this color for fall. So let's see how this is gonna look. So this brush is doing a good job at picking up this glittery shade. It's, you know, buildable versus going in with your finger. I feel like when I go in with my finger, I have zero control of how much pigment I get with these glittery shades, and then it becomes a problem because then I have too much and I have no way of taking it off. And that's the reason I just avoid my fingers, using my fingers when I'm using the Natasha Denona palettes. Anyways, while I'm applying this, I'm gonna layer on top of this shade. So I'm gonna wipe my brush off on a microfiber towel that I have here, just so that you know. Anytime that I reuse a brush, in case you guys don't already know, I wipe it before going into another shade. I do want to go into this shade right here, Invention, and I want to layer that on top of Beige. I want to see how that layers together because these three colors are in a row. So if you guys don't know, Natasha Denona, you can use, the way that she rearranges her palettes is every row, every like column, you know, and diagonally, quads, they're all a look. So you can use them together. So since these are on top of each other, I'm assuming that they do well together. So let's go ahead and try that. Am I afraid? Absolutely. I'm gonna apply that to the center. Oh my gosh. Look how pretty that is. The woman is a genius. The woman is a genius. Look at how beautiful that layers, you guys. Okay, I need to calm down. I need to calm down. That is beautiful. I really love this. Wow. Wow. That looks beautiful. Wow. Okay, I'm impressed. Anyways, let's talk about Hocus Pocus 2. If you haven't watched it, yesterday was September the 30th, and it was the release date of that movie, part 2, with the original witches, you know. I loved it. That's all I'm gonna say. I loved it. I think they did a good job. I was afraid they were gonna mess this up for us. I really was afraid, but they came through. They did a really good job, and I'm very impressed. Very, very impressed with their work. They did such a good job. All right, now I'm going to use my Pencil Pro brush, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into Aspiration right here, and this is that like deep chocolate brown. Just gonna tap my brush, and I'm gonna run that on the top of the lash line, just to give it a little bit of depth. Again, I am being super light-handed with this because that's pretty. That is very, very pretty. And I really like the way that the matte shades work on top of the glitter shades. Everything works in unison. It's beautiful. I'm gonna go back to the Builder Pro, and now let's go ahead and use the Vision shade. This is that like duochrome that has a pink, purple, and green shift. You guys, I am so excited to use this color. You have no idea. This color is the color of October. If October had one makeup shade, this is it. Look how beautiful that is. I love that, you guys. I just got a little bit more and I'm just applying that all over the lid. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Now what I want to do is I want to go back in with, this is the Worker Pro. Now bear with me. I want to go and I want to dip into Instinct, which is the shade right above it, very oh so lightly, and I want to just tap that in the corner, just in the corner, nothing crazy, circular motions. Wow, that really packs a punch. It is much brighter than I thought it was gonna be. In the pan it looks deeper, but when applied it is a very bright color. Oh, that is so pretty. All right, so I'm just taking it everywhere. And now I'm gonna take my blender brush. Let's blend that out. Yeah. And now I want to go into Edgy, which is this eggplant purple right here, which is almost black. It is a black purple. Going in with, again, the Worker Pro. And again, just concentrating that. I want to layer it on top of that Instinct color, just to give it a little bit of depth. Ooh, I like that. That's pretty. And I'm really lightly tapping my brush in there because it is a fairly heavy pigmented shade. Okay, going in with my clean blender brush, blending everything together, blending those edges. That's pretty. That's very, very pretty. So I'm just blending out that edge. Now I want to go in with the Pencil Pro, and I'm gonna go back into Edgy, and I want to drag that onto the lash line. Just out here. I think this color is perfect for this duochrome as a liner. That's pretty. So in case you were wondering, I don't have any fallout. I don't see any fallout with any of these shades. And I am super impressed with that. Usually when you use very deep shades like this, they tend to have a lot of fallout on your face, and you end up having to do your face makeup last, which you guys know I can't do. So I'll kind of like sweep away any fallout. But this shade is absolutely beautiful. I really, really do love it. As much as I would love to leave this here, for the sake of this video, I want to layer a little bit of Thrill over that because I can't help myself. And I'm gonna go in with the Builder Pro, and let's just try it. If it wasn't for this video, I would have left that just like that, but let's just try it. Just in the center, just to give it a little light. And it does, it layers beautifully. Just give it just a slight glow. That's beautiful. All right, so one thing I noticed that this palette did not have was a highlight shade. There is no brow bone highlight shade in this palette. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just use my Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar and Glow, and I'm just gonna use the highlighter in this shade with that blender brush that was clean, and I'm gonna apply that a little bit of that to my brow bone, just to give it some light. And just make everything super cohesive. And just soften anything that is a little bit harsh. Because I feel like sometimes when you work with very deep shades, you could have some harsh edges like on this outer corner here. And then, you know, you can apply some of that highlighting shade and just kind of blend everything out. I love that. That's beautiful. So all I did was apply some of my La Beige mascara from Chanel. This is just a sample I have. And then I went in with my Lancome Hypnose Drama mascara. This is a deluxe sample I have that I've been using. And this is the final look for both eyes. Is that beautiful or what? That duochrome gives me all the fall vibes. It's beautiful. Okay, let's get into lips. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the lip liner. Actually, why am I was gonna get the palette, but I have my mirror here. Very creamy. Same as, it feels the same as the other formula, so. Okay. I'm gonna swatch this on the back of my hand just so that I can prep for the next one. Next, let's go in with a lipstick. This formula is definitely much creamier than her original I Need a Nude Lipstick collection. I love the color. This is like my perfect nude. Let's go into the lip gloss here, which I'll also swatch for you guys. Honestly, the lipstick is so creamy that I don't think that you need the gloss. But if you want an extra juicy lip, I mean, that's nice. Okay, let's get into some swatches. So here we've got the gloss. It's definitely like a medium pigmented gloss, so you could even use it on its own if you prefer. Here you have the lipstick in Natasha, and down here I put the swatch of Amorosa. So you can see that Amorosa is less creamy. It is a different formula, and it is more purple. It is more purple and cool tone than Natasha. Here we have the new Natasha lip liner, and here we have the old one. There is a slight difference in color. Are you guys, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I feel like the old one, again, has a little bit more purple, kind of like Amorosa down here. And this new one has a little bit more brown. So I'm glad I picked it up. Because they're not 100% the same. They are similar, but because I use it so much, I knew I was gonna get a lot of use out of it, so I said, why not? But this is the complete look using all of these products. Now let's go ahead and get into swatches of the eyeshadow palette. So this is the first row of finger swatches. I've got babies on my thumb. So let's go ahead. Black is black. On the screen, I'll be putting down the finish of each color. We've got Aspiration, which is that deep brown. So as you can see, Aspiration is swatching patchy, but I don't always trust that. You guys know that a lot of the times a color can swatch patchy, but they, you know, do well on the eye. Then we've got Serenity, which is this beautiful taupe that has kind of like a pinky, like a rose gold shift to it. Then we've got Carpe Diem. And then we've got Babies. Look how pretty that is. I shouldn't have swatched this arm because I am right hand dominant. I'm gonna go into Carpe Diem because I want you guys to really see how pretty this terracotta shade is. And then Aspiration, I mean, it's just not a good swatch, you guys, not at all. Black is Black is not a new color. That is part of her existing shades. And then I kind of wanted to show you, I put Babies on the eye already, but this color swatched is a dream. It has a beautiful rose gold flip with kind of like more of like an orangey tinge to it, which gives me all the fall pumpkin spice vibes. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to that second row. We've got Instinct. You guys, this color I think surprised me the most. Again, it's swatching just a little bit patchy, but this looks a lot deeper in the pan than it swatches. Then we've got Thrill. I mean, that is a beautiful foiled shade. Then we've got Unity, which is kind of like my skin tone, a little peach matte color. Then we've got Risk. I mean, look at that shade. And then we've got Invention, which, I mean, look at how beautiful that color is. And you guys know I layered that on the eye. It's just gorgeous. Let's move on to the second row. All right, here is the last row. Look at that beautiful chestnut color from Familia. Look at, first of all, that duochrome. I mean, hello. That's my favorite shade in the entire palette. Look how beautiful that is. So this is Vision. Then we've got Edgy, which was that eggplant color. And then we've got Spontaneous. Then we have Nurture, which surprised me, was much darker on the skin than it was in the palette. And then the last one is Familia. And we're just gonna swatch that on the bottom. So how beautiful is that? I love this palette. And as you can see, I'm using that duochrome shade. Is not as scary as it looks. I think that, you know, there's so many like beautiful transition neutral shades in this palette that it just makes everything work wonderfully. Whether you want a very high pigmented, high glam look, nighttime, I don't know, you're going to the club, who knows, or you just want a work friendly, daytime, everyday kind of look, I think this palette works for you. You can make it work however you want. I think that this palette is, in my opinion, the palette that has the most one and done shades. I think that there's a lot of standalone shades here that you can use on its own. The duochrome being one of them. That I just love that shade. I think I could just wear it by itself and not layer anything. Obviously, because I was doing this video, that wasn't the case. But as you can see, there's very minimal fallout with all of the finger swatches that I just did. But when I used this palette with the brush, you saw that there wasn't any fallout on my face. So let me go ahead and give you one last look at this palette on my eyes. And if you haven't picked this up, I highly suggest that you wait for October 27th, which starts the Sephora fall event, where if you're like a Rouge, you get 20% off. If you're VIB, I think you get 15% off, and then you get 10% if you are a Beauty Insider. That would be the perfect time to pick up this palette. I love it. I think it's a perfect addition to my collection. And you guys, ever since I started riding the Natasha Denona wave, I'm all about it. I love this packaging. It's so different from her other packagings, you know, palettes that are usually like a shiny shift. This is a matte, soft finish, and then these paint splatters are shiny and they're glossy. I love that. I think it's so different. It's very artistic. I think it really speaks to her as an artist. I love that the name of this palette is actually in her handwriting. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. And if you're wondering if I matched my nails to this palette because I knew I was going to film this video, absolutely. Absolutely. You know how things work here. Okay? Sometimes I go that extra mile. It's for you. You're welcome. But yes, if you haven't picked this up and you were afraid to, I suggest you pick this up. I think this is one of the best releases of the entire fall season. I don't think I will be purchasing any more palettes. As you guys know, I'm trying to purchase less palettes. It has to be something that I truly enjoy. I'm really trying to cut back on that because I'm trying to get through what I have. But I do review makeup on this channel, so you know, that can only take me so far. I'm sure that there'll be many more releases that will intrigue me, but I have said no to, I would say, 70% of the releases this year, and that for me is amazing. That's an amazing job. So I highly recommend this palette. Let me give you one last look. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this look and these swatches. Let me know if you picked up this palette, what you think in the comments down below, and I will see you next time, guys. Bye.